I will mention though that I've got more of a. Why don't you show them the Monza right here?
So the Monza's really cool. This is more of a vintage piece, something more along the lines of the watches that you like.
This is a, once we find that camera there.
There it is.
This is the Monza numbered edition, 42 millimeters. Oops.
Sorry.
Blackened titanium. Now it's an interesting watch because it does have the Heuer signature exclusively. Nowhere does it say tag on this watch. It says Heuer on the back. It says Heuer on the clasp. It comes with a very cool perforated leather strap that looks a lot like vintage Corfam. So it has a 70s strap look to it, but unlike the synthetics of the 70s, this one's actually made of calf. Really cool looking watch with vintage simulated patina on the Luminova indices and hands. Good looking watch. This one's $5,200 as it's sold at the boutique. You know, very competitive. And here's the thing: 100-meter water resistant with a sapphire crystal and a modern movement. This is a watch you can wear. The vintage watches, honestly, the Caliber 15 in the original Monza was nothing to brag about. It was kind of an entry-level watch with a brass case that was blackened. This thing is downright upscale. It's a lot of value for the money, and I actually take it over the vintage one.
It's kind of what I'm seeing with tag, and honestly, the more I look at this, I like this a little bit better than the Big Bang, honestly. Just from on a personal level, I could see myself wearing this over a Big Bang for sure.
I will second that. I think in terms of style and substance, especially since that is a ceramic bezel and not PVD, I don't see the downside to choosing that over a Big Bang.
No.
But hey,
finding that pre-owned is probably going to be a great price too.
Blow balls in your court, you know?
Pick it up.
Let us know what you got. It'll be here. We'll throw it up here. No problem.
Absolutely.
Okay, so guys, we got some questions coming. Rolex Newbie, what do you think about the Black Bay 36? Josh, do you want to field this?
I'm just not a huge, Tudor guy, but the Black Bay 36, I know it's very popular. I have some friends who picked up the watch. They're in love with it. If it's going to be your entry into the world of Rolex, I'd say go for it.
Yeah, it's one for the classicist. If you like a smaller watch, either because your wrist is smaller or you just don't like the look of a big watch, the 36 is your option. If you're looking for something that's unisex, that's versatile, this is a watch you could buy for a watch-oriented woman. Someone who, I mean, heck, if you can justify getting her a watch, that's an excuse to buy yourself another watch.
Absolutely.
I love the Black Bay 36 for that reason.
Or if you buy your woman a unisex watch, that means you can wear it too.
Exactly.
Words to live by.
It's almost like giving yourself a gift.
It's exactly like that.
So other questions. This is from Ian. Ian, how do we guarantee that used watches are genuine? He's saying he's seen some really convincing replicas. Josh?
Well, I mean, we've seen those as well. The thing is that, when you're dealing with Swiss watches from the manufacturer, there's going to be many tells that are going to tell you whether or not the watch is authentic or not. To a layman, to a layperson, to someone who isn't dealing with watches 24/7, then yeah, you can certainly fool them. But we've seen the best fakes that there are out there with high grade, even Swiss movements that we can determine are not authentic. And I mean, it comes down to, we have a many-step process. In fact, I think we have a video, don't we, on our website about this?
We did a video on our YouTube channel. This was one of OJ's kind of intermediate Tuesday and Wednesday broadcasts. Go back and search OJ's show on our channel. He'll talk a lot about what we do. But in a nutshell, we compare the watch that we have to a known serial number database. These serial numbers are proven fakes, and anytime one of those serial numbers pops up, it's a huge red flag. We are experts in watches. We've been doing this for 16 years. Collectively, we have decades of living memory of great fakes, as well as the familiarity that comes with seeing the real thing. And sometimes it's the fact of having that experience, of seeing the real thing, that lets you catch a fake. Because a lot of people think you need to see a lot of fakes to catch fakes. Reality, especially with something like Rolex, where the bracelets today are so solid, the clasps are so solid. If you know what the real thing's supposed to feel like, and you pick up a fake bracelet, a fake Rolex, it's going to betray itself because you know what the standard of reference is. You have that frame.
Well, that's the point. So people making the fakes are only making fakes. It's not like someone who's working at the Rolex factory is then walking down the street and making their own fake watches. So what you're going to see is the things that we notice, like serial numbers, sequential serial numbers, or exactly like certain polishing jobs on bracelets and the feel and the weight. All these things we know inherently, so I'm going to feel it and okay, well, yeah, that seems real to me. When the person who's making this watch is not dealing with real watches the way we are. So beyond just the steps that we take and the databases that we run our watches against, the watchmakers who look at each movement, and those steps that we take, it's also touch and feel, and also a lot of times when you're talking to someone, you know that they have a fake watch. You know, they don't know what they have for the most part.
So here's our battery. We have databases of fake watch serial numbers. We have the living memory of all the fakes and all the real watches we've seen. We have the watchmakers who are technical experts, the experience of Josh, myself, and the rest of our staff in authenticating watches. And I tend to focus more on the esoteric stuff, vintage stuff. These guys know the meat of the market, those core sports watches like Hublot, Breitling, and Panerai that are often fake. These guys know what to look for.